In life, we sometimes feel exhausted not because of a lack of effort, but because it seems like everything is stagnant, like nothing changes despite putting in all our strength. Have you ever wondered if you're trying too hard? Or perhaps we're so focused on achieving that we forget an even more important factor in our journey: belief. Alan Watts, a great philosopher, pointed out that belief is not just a vague hope, but a quiet power that helps us reorient our lives in the right direction. Belief is not about pushing ourselves to the limit, it's about opening our hearts, being ready to embrace and trust in ourselves. In life, join Shining Mirror-LVB as we explore how belief can help you live peacefully, reduce anxiety, and truly achieve wonderful things without the need for excessive struggle or effort. Let's discover how belief, not as something distant, but as an essential part of life, can lead us to new heights we never imagined before. Belief, the beginning of freedom. Sometimes, the exhaustion we face doesn't come from a lack of effort, but from trying too hard without seeing any results. There are times when we pour all our energy into work, relationships, or goals, but everything still feels stagnant, as if nothing is changing. Alan Watts shared a profound truth: you're tired not because you're lazy, not because you've given up, but because you've been trying for too long, and nothing has changed. Effort itself is not the problem, but sometimes, what you truly need is not more action, but belief. Belief is not just vague hope, it's the deep understanding that you don't need to control everything in your life to feel safe and stable. You just need to trust in yourself and in the process of life. Watts emphasizes that the world has taught us to push harder when we don't get results. But few teach us that sometimes, instead of doing more, we need to believe more. Belief is the key that allows you to let go, to let things unfold naturally without forcing them. When you trust yourself and the universe, you'll experience peace, no longer worried about the outcomes or trying to control everything. In reality, belief is the beginning of freedom, because it helps you release the anxiety and invisible burdens in your mind. Belief is not passivity. Many of us mistakenly believe that belief is simply sitting back and waiting, as if belief is something passive, a state of hoping that everything will change without taking any action. However, Alan Watts pointed out a profound truth that very few realize: belief is not passivity. Belief is an active commitment, a powerful faith in living authentically and trusting in the natural flow of life. Belief is not about waiting aimlessly. It is the certainty that you are on the right path, even when results aren't immediate. It's the ability to face challenges without fear, knowing that true change will come when you stop trying to force it. Belief is the inner strength that keeps you moving forward without relying on the outcome. When you trust in yourself and in the journey of life, you realize that you don't always need to race against time or the expectations of others. What you need is to continue being true to yourself and allow things to unfold naturally. In reality, belief allows you to relax and act from a space of inner peace, where anxiety and fear no longer control you. You no longer need to try harder, you simply need to act from a place of calmness in your soul. This is what belief brings: a life of freedom, where you don't have to struggle or force things, but live in the freedom of trusting yourself and life. Belief is strength, not weakness. Alan Watts pointed out that belief is not weakness, as many people assume. On the contrary, belief is a silent strength, an invisible yet powerful force that helps you push past fear, doubt, and anxiety. When you trust in yourself, you no longer feel the need to prove your worth to anyone, no longer feel compelled to live up to the expectations of others or society. Belief gives you freedom. You stop chasing things that don't align with your true values and dreams. Stop trying to please everyone just to be recognized. Instead, you live according to what you truly believe in and cherish, because you understand that your worth is not determined by anyone else's judgment but by your own. This does not mean abandoning your goals or dreams. Belief is not about giving up, it's about letting go of worry. Letting go of fear about the future, fear about whether you'll achieve your goals or not. You don't need to control everything to feel safe. Belief is the strength that allows you to face difficulties without feeling like you've lost control. It's the ability to live peacefully, accepting life's imperfections and continuing to move forward, unburdened by fear or your own harsh judgments. Belief leads you to inner peace. One of the hardest aspects of practicing belief is learning how to let go. In a world where we are constantly taught to try harder, never stop pushing, and conquer every challenge, letting go can easily be mistaken for failure. However, as Alan Watts once said, trying harder isn't always the best way forward. In reality, stopping the constant striving and letting go of the need to force things to happen is often the greatest step in personal growth. It's the realization that not everything is within your control. Belief is not about passivity, it's about actively choosing to live with inner peace. Accepting things that cannot be changed. When you trust in yourself, you no longer feel the need to prove your worth to anyone. You stop chasing after things that don't align with your true self. Stop racing against time and societal standards. Instead, you learn to respect yourself and live authentically, without worrying about whether you're good enough or not. Letting go doesn't mean abandoning goals or dreams. It means letting go of the worry, the fear about the future. Belief is the process of learning to live in the present, understanding that you don't need to control everything in your life to feel safe. You don't need to fight with what cannot be changed. When you truly trust in yourself and in the journey of life, you realize that life is not a race, but a journey to be enjoyed, experiencing each moment fully. Belief is the strength that helps you find inner peace, a state of being in which you no longer worry about the future or regret the past. Belief is the key to freeing yourself from stress and anxiety, allowing you to live fully with what you have and accept challenges with calmness. You will realize that when you let go of control, you not only gain freedom but also become stronger than ever before. The peace that belief brings is a peace that cannot be shaken by external circumstances, by things beyond your control. Belief is not an easy concept, especially when you are so accustomed to doing everything with sheer effort and relentless striving. However, it is in the moment when you decide to stop pushing too hard that you begin to realize that life can bring wonderful things without you having to do too much. Belief is not passivity, it's an active choice to live with inner peace. Trust in the process, and allow things to unfold naturally. Learn to trust yourself, trust the timing, and trust the process. When you stop forcing everything, you'll see that life will begin to move in a harmonious rhythm. And you will start to receive wonderful things without the need to race against time or the expectations of others. Belief is an invisible force, but it is the most powerful source of energy that allows you to live fully and happily. Remember, you deserve peace, not because you've achieved everything, but because you've learned to let go and trust in yourself. Belief is the key that opens the door to true happiness. Have you ever felt like you're trying too hard and losing your inner peace? Share your thoughts in the comments below this video and let's explore together how belief can change our lives. What do you think about stopping the struggle to achieve what you want? Leave your thoughts and start your journey of trusting yourself today with Shining Mirror-LVB.